Hey friends, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming to watch my video. I appreciate you being here. This is going to be a little different for me. This is not really what kind of thing I usually do. I'm going to not really focus on what's old or what I bought. Well, kind of in a sense what I bought. But this is kind of about how to package a board. Actually, it is. It's how to package a board game or how to not package a board game. First off, when it comes to shipping a board game, if you had somebody buy a $100 board game off of you, they spent $100 for your game. If you did free shipping on it, then that's on you to make sure that board game gets to that person the way you advertised it. Okay? If you charge for shipping on it, don't skimp on it and try to save a couple pennies on the cost of the shipping. Make sure you get that board. Board game collectors are very intense. They're a little anal. They want things, especially if they find a really good copy that they're really excited about getting, and it doesn't get to them the way it was supposed to get to them. Don't be surprised when they're very upset. Just don't be upset. Don't be surprised, because they're going to be. I'm telling you now, they're going to be pissed, and they're going to come to you, and they're going to want a refund, and they're not going to settle for too awful much. So I'll tell you, this was my experience. Okay, several years ago, I was looking at a Facebook yard sale site, and I saw a World of Warcraft board game at this yard sale, and the pictures they had. I saw World of Warcraft. That's kind of interesting. I'll look it up. Well, wasn't that game was selling for a lot of money at the time, well over $100. On Amazon, it was priced really high. Of course, this one was open, so it wasn't pristine or perfect. And I went and I bought it. That, and there were several other related type of role-playing kind of thing. When I say World of Warcraft game, I mean World of Warcraft board game. This is what I mean. This great big gigantic board game. See how thick that is? That's not. Here's a little post-it. You can see how big that thing is. You're not going to squeeze this into a flat rate board game box from the post office. It won't fit. You're going to have the right size box. But when I say right size box, you're going to have a box that you're going to want to have at least 2 inches on the ends and probably at least an inch or 2 on the sides. You're going to want to make sure this sucker gets to them, because I don't know what they're selling for now, because I'm not really selling it yet, but I've thought about it. Thought about looking them up to see what they are, and I may just sell them. But this one is pretty much pristine. There is just well, it's not really pristine. There is a bad spot right here on the corner. There's one bad spot right there, but it's sealed, and it is in very nice condition. It is one of the best ones you're going to find. That I bought after I bought those ones at that yard sale, because I had seen the prices. And I actually had this one on Amazon, priced very high. I think I still do, but it's merchant fulfilled, because I'm not sending that sucker into FBA to get ruined. So I will probably end up pulling it and putting it on eBay, because it's been there for a couple of years now. So and it's not selling there. If I do that, that's where I'll put it. That's where it's at. I'd forgotten about it having it on Amazon. So anyway, this was the 4th game that I bought on eBay. This good one, this nice pristine, was the 4th one that I bought on eBay. The first one came, and they wrapped it in cardboard. Now, I never opened this because it was incomplete, and I knew it was incomplete. I wanted it to part it out. So I bought it incomplete. I'm not expecting much out of that. I never did open it. I just never did. Isn't that terrible? I never opened it. The second one came, and it was supposed to be in excellent condition. The pictures were fantastic. The box was beautiful. Now, when it comes to board games, box condition is pretty much extremely important when you're selling something. If you're selling something that's just a game for somebody to play, not a big deal. But if you're selling something that's collectible, you want to tout it as being like new, or you want to talk about it being in good condition or excellent used condition and all that kind of stuff like that, then by God, you better make sure that when it gets to me, it's in the same condition as it was in the listing. You do not wrap it in paper. You do not wrap it in paper. Why do you not wrap it in paper? Because paper does not protect anything, and what you end up with is this. You end up with the box being ripped to shreds on the corner. It is no longer in excellent condition. And that's not the only corner. Okay. So I kind of berated the first guy. I kind of told him that that's not the right way to package stuff. The second guy, I asked him not to package it that way, not to wrap it in paper and send it, because of the first guy. And he did it anyway. What do you think I did? Well, I told him I want to send it back. Okay. This was sent from, let's see, I don't know where it came from me. Where's his address at? It cost him $18 to send it. It might have cost him $19 or $20 to put it in a real box with real packaging around it. But instead he went cheap and he sent it that way. And he also sent it parcel select instead of priority. Never send anything that's going to get damaged parcel select. Not ever. Not ever. Because you're going to have... You could have your box be shipped in the same... it could end up in the same bin as a safe. And a safe could come off a ledge and land on your box and smash it to pieces. Never ship it like that. That's just not cool. It's not cool to do that to somebody who's a collector and they're expecting something and they don't get it. So I told the guy, look, I just want to return it. I just want to return it. He goes, well, how about if I give you a partial return, a partial refund? I said, I just want to return it. And he ended up refunding me and told me to keep the game. That was very nice of him. I told him I just wanted to return it because I just wanted to return it. Now all it is it's just a parts. It's just parts to me. I can't resell that as this, in the same condition. I can't resell it as an excellent condition. I just can't. So, that's kind of the wrong thing to do. Understand that a lot of your buyers are sellers. A lot of your buyers are collectors. They're not people who want to play the games. They're people who want to collect them. They're people who want to put them on a shelf. They're people who want to show you. They want to display it. They want, if they're getting something, they want it to be beautiful. They want it to be perfect. You know what I mean? If that's what they're buying, a perfect one. If they're buying a filler, it's just a filler. I mean, I used to sell a ton of books, and they were just, a lot of them were collectibles, but they were just fillers. I made sure people knew that. This is just a filler book. This is not, I never considered it a collectible if it was not a collectible. If it was, if it broken hinges inside or writing inside or just heavy wear on the cover, I made sure they understood that it's not a collectible. Don't tell me something's collectible if it's not. If it's all busted up and it ain't no good. So the third guy, I said to him, I said, please do not send this thing. I got a shower not long ago and I'm sweating because it's hot, even though it's winter time now. But I said, please make sure you put this thing in a box. Please make sure you have sufficient packing around it so that nothing can happen to it. He sent it in a box without sufficient packing. He used the construction paper that you buy at Lowe's or whatever. He put that all around it, and that's great. That's pretty decent stuff. I mean, it can do pretty well. But it didn't stop the game from moving around inside the box. Okay, I never even opened the box because when I got it, there was a hole the size of Brian Bosworth's fist through the end of it. A big hole smashed right in. You could see it just smashed right into the end of the box. I don't know if the game's complete anymore. I don't know. I know one thing. The box is trashed. and the inserts and all the other things that are inside the box are going to be trashed. I don't know how far Bosworth's arm went up inside that thing, but you guys probably don't even know who Brian Bosworth was. But anyway, just look up the Bos. You'll find out how he was. But but yeah, that paper's not gonna. It's a nice filler, but for something, I mean, if it's already in a box, if you're double boxing something, and you got a box and you put paper in there, and your item's in the box secured so it doesn't rattle around inside this other box, and you put that box inside another box, and you put that paper in there, you're good to go. But if your item is moving around in there at all, and don't think it won't, especially in a long box. Now this guy did the same thing. I told him to send it priority. He sent it parcel select. So yeah, I just emailed him and told him I'd send it back to him. I wanted a refund. So he paid me. He refunded me and he gave me the money to send the item back. So because it's not as described. So everybody got good feedback because they responded appropriately. So, but I desperately wanted to just pound the negative button when I first got the item, but I'm just not really like that so much. So anyway, those are the ways you don't do it. You don't wrap it. Don't wrap stuff in. That ain't right. And it's gonna get worn and the paper you saw it was only a few days in the mail and that paper got ripped right up on the corners. That's going to happen to anything you do, and you're going to piss your customer off, and you're going to end up with negative feedback. You're going to end up with items not as described. You know, it's just not cool. Don't save the money on shipping. Don't look for the cheapest way to ship something. That's not. Look for the best way, not the best and the cheapest, just the best way. If it costs you a few extra dollars, if it costs your customer a few extra dollars, I would have paid a few extra dollars if I could have had that thing shipped to me and had it be in the condition that it was supposed to be in, not ruined. That's just not. It just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. So, yeah. So the thing to do, if you have a box at the right size, even if you're using a priority mail flat rate box, and take your box. We'll just say the priority flat rate box, the big one. Okay. And you probably see it everywhere. Some of you guys dumpster dive. Some of you guys get your free shipping supplies. You see these big giant hunks of styrofoam. You see these big giant hunks of styrofoam, and you might maybe you get them. Maybe you use them if you can. But if you try to break them things, all those little brown balls go flying everywhere. It's a mess. It sticks your fingers. It gets because it's like staticky. It's like static electric. Bad news. Just bad news. There's this gadget that I bought that I used. I can't think of the name, but I will. It's basically it's a gadget that has a wire that goes across two prongs, and that wire, when you pull the trigger, that wire will heat up. And what it does is, if you let the wire do the work, it slices right through the cardboard. It just cuts right through it, just as slick as can be. At first, it's a little crooked. You get a little wavy because you don't know what you're doing. But over time, you can get that cut a lot nicer. You get better at it. I will tell you that the wire on it will get brittle and will break, especially if you're forcing it. The wire will break. It's very thin. But I will tell you this. I did end up getting a chance to talk to the owner of the company that sells it on Amazon, and he was a fantastic guy. Their customer service was unbelievable. And the only reason I called was because somebody in their shipping department sort of messed up on an order. And he totally made it right and totally fixed it. And, made sure, because I was a repeat customer. I came back a lot, and he flat out told me, he says, if you need anything else, just call me, just call, and we'll and I at that time I bought enough wire that I didn't need. I haven't actually needed to go back and buy any more, but I will go back and I will just order it straight from the company because he sells it really cheap. He can't be making very much money on it. But the gadget is fantastic. I wish I had something that had a little longer prongs on it, but I'm sure there's a reason why they can't make it longer. But it works really well for what I need anyway, because I need strips sometimes. That's just about the perfect size for that board game right there. If I can get a strip of styrofoam, a nice, maybe this thick or thicker, depending on my box, and go down and cut down through that and put that on the end of the box and on the sides of the box, and make sure it's right up tight. No room at all. Now it's going to be a little heavier than paper, but it's styrofoam. It's not that much heavier, and you can get it for free. And this cutter slices it up beautifully. It's just beautiful. So basically, you put that in the box. You put that in the end of your box. You slide your board game down in there. I would use the small bubble wrap around the board game. Maybe even use some of your paper to put your paper around the board game first, then maybe bubble wrap it, and then put it in your box. If you're selling a very expensive board game and somebody's expecting, if you're selling a board game, some of these board games are $200, $300, $400. You get Fireball Island, you send it the way these guys send it, you deserve what you get. You know that's just wrong. So anyway. So, do whatever you have to do to protect that game so it gets there, no matter what. Don't let it move around the box. If you get that styrofoam in the ends and on the ends of it, nothing's going to punch through it, because when it's going to hit that box, if that styrofoam's up against there and your board game's up and it's all tight in there, nothing can move around. Whatever is going to hit it, I mean, even the boss is not going to be able to put his fist through it. Now, granted, if it gets punched by some kind of a hydraulic device or something like that, yeah, it's going to go through it. Now, the sides of the length of the box, the flat parts, I haven't really seen too many issues with that. Although when I send them, if I send something out, I will take and put something. Usually, if I have it, I usually have some pieces of styrofoam that are longer or flat, that I can put in there and keep that in there the same way to hold that in there. I do this for board games. I'm not really a board game collector, but I do expect things to be the way they were pictured. I want them sent to me the way they were pictured, so, and maybe I'm a little anal about it, but I want my stuff the way I ordered it. If I pay good money for something, if I pay you $100 or $150 for a game, I want it the way I ordered it, or you are going to get it back. And don't be surprised, and don't go in the Facebook groups and call me a scammer. Don't go on there and say this guy's just trying to get some. I don't ask for partials. I don't want partials. I'm going to return the item to you. Now, if you want to let me keep the item, if you want to let me keep it and give me a partial refund, that's up to you. That's up to you, but I'm not asking for it, and I don't want it. I want the item the way it was supposed to be, or I don't want it at all. And that's just the way it is. So I just wanted to make sure I got this out there. That's how you don't package the games, and I told you how you do package the games, and now I'll show you kind of an example. I'll use that thing and I'll show you an example of how this stuff gets done. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Well, this is actually the gadget. You can see what I was talking about now. It's got those two, if you can see the two rings on the end of those prongs. Those just screw off of there, and they have holes in them that the wire cable goes through. It's kind of a pain in the butt to put it back together when the wire breaks, to redo it. And you can see this time I got the excess wire hanging off the end. I usually don't do that. I usually cut it. I just got a bit lazy when I was doing it the last time and didn't do it. But yeah, the company's name is Woodland Scenics. And I get it off. I've gotten it off of Amazon. This is just a piece of the wire. Now this is going to cost you. This little piece of wire right here is about $5 last time I checked, something like that. So, and it's 48 inches. I don't know if you can get it. It's 121 centimeters or cm. That's the length, I guess. I don't know what the width is on it. It doesn't really say. what the width of the wire is. It's very, very thin. You know, as you can see, it's hopefully you can see how thin that wire is. It's really thin. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have a link. I'll have a link at the bottom for the Amazon site on this. I have an affiliate account, and I'll try to make it an affiliate account because, well, I could always use the help, but it's been years and years and years since I had a blog a long time ago about weird stuff that it's still out there. It's weird stuff. It's me a long time ago, so I don't know if you even want to check it out. But I had affiliate links on there to a few. I wasn't ever really very good at doing that stuff, so I don't know if I'll even be able to figure out how to do it again. But I'll try to do it. If not, I'll just stick the link, or you can just go to Amazon and find it. You know, whatever. But just so you know, it might be an affiliate link. So just so you know. But anyway, so this is the cutter. This is the trigger. You just push up on that. You just push up on it. It just moves a little bit. I don't know if you can see it moving there, but it isn't much. It's not really hot. I guess it is kind of hot, but I mean, you'll cut through your wire if you're not careful. So don't. Here's some styrofoam. This is just a cooler that I picked up. Sometimes somebody drops them off the niche, and the niche just leaves them outside for free. Or I'll buy them. Sometimes they go out for 99 cents. I'll buy one if I'm running low and I haven't found any. But usually you can just get. I mean, usually this stuff's laying all over the place. You can get it anywhere. Different things. So anyway, this is just, you can see I've already been cutting away at it, chopping different pieces off. But here's basically what you do. Okay, you just squeeze that button, and then you put her on there like that, and it just slices right down through there. Ever so sweet. I'm going to take it all the way down to the bottom of this. I can actually swing it all the way around and do the whole thing, but I'll just cut it down to here and then pull it back out. And you can get imaginative with how you cut things. You know, you can get really funny with how you do it, and then it just comes right off. And then you can actually you can take it then and I made this one a little too wide, so I can't get down through there. But if I cut this in half, like this, and just go down through there. I love this tool. I absolutely love this tool. It doesn't seem like it's really sturdy, but it is pretty sturdy. So, it doesn't seem that great, but it is. It works pretty good. And then you can just take this. If you need to see this would work good on the end of a box. But you know, if maybe you need to make it a little thinner, you know, you just go right down through the middle. There you go. Slice it right in half. The thing works like a champ. Takes a little bit of time, a little bit of preparation to do this thing. Then I mean, you can't put it together real fast. But here's the thing: customer service is number one. Number one. Make sure the customer gets that thing and awaits them. When they see that and they see the care that you put into your packing of their items, so you get it, you are gonna get glowing feedback, and you're probably gonna, if you're a board game seller, if you sell them a lot, you're gonna get return business. They're gonna come back to you because they're gonna trust that you're gonna have the game and you're gonna get it to them safely. And how much is that worth? You'll never sell another board game to them, and they'll probably call you out on some of the board game collector sites. They'll probably call out your username and say, hey, don't buy from this guy because the guy don't know how to ship. You know, so you want to watch that. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that takes care of it. Like I said, you got to have the right size box, a little bit, you know, big enough that you can get some decent stuff. I've never had a problem with stuff that I've shipped when I've used that styrofoam cut like that. I've never had a problem with that. It's always very secure. It's always very tight in there. It doesn't move around in there. It's not going to give away the paper. When you put paper in there, it seems good when you put it in, but the weight of that, whatever your item is that's in there, moving back, shifting back and forth a little bit, starts to smush that paper. Even if it's the contractor's paper, it still can smush it a little bit. Hopefully it gets to where you need it to go. You know, but if you're shipping from Pennsylvania to California or Hawaii or Alaska or worldwide somewhere, or you know, if you're in Indiana and you got to send something to Germany, that package is going to go through some things. You know, it's going to go through, and that paper is gonna. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any structure. It's just gonna squish and make it so your item moves around a lot. And you know, another thing is you can do it. You can do Franken boxes. I know a lot of people like to do the Franken boxes, but you lose all structural integrity with that box. That box has no structural integrity wherever you put them together at. It's going to be able to bend there really easy. So if you are going to do it, make sure you have something in there. You have something in there to hold the game from flexing in there. So I mean, if you have to put the game inside a box and then put it inside another box, you know, and the other box is a Franken box or whatever, make sure that thing can't move around in there. Make sure it's sturdy, because again, you're here to watch a video about how to package board games or not to package board games, and I'm telling you how to do it. So I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it worth your while. If you want to see me actually package a board game, I could do that if you want. You could even tell me what game you'd like to see me package. If I have one or something similar, I'll try to do it. Yeah, so that's it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and if you found this at all helpful, please hit the like button. And well, let's see. Yeah, please hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. If a bunch of people dislike it, maybe I won't try to help anybody anymore. But so yeah, that's it. I'm done. Okay, have a great night. Keep listening. Bye.